Manoj, from your experience, especially what is the next level of data talent or data science talent that has to come, especially because technology is not just being built to show technology prowess, but it is more for really benefiting the business. So how are we blending both these things together, and how are the data scientists working on this area for the skills of the future?
I think AI brings the proactive approach. So where I see the skill set for the future growing is, and this is 5 years ago when ML was growing, there used to be a point where data engineer was a data engineer and ML engineer was a different being. To today, I used to tell my students that it is actually one person. So you will see the industry grow into having just a data engineer do both. And that is what exactly what I'm seeing for the future. I'm telling my students either adopt AI and become that data engineer who knows data engineering and AI engineering, or phase out. I mean, because the combination of reactive and proactive approach needs to be combined at this point, which comes from two different areas, I would say.
Every product is building to scale up their workflow mechanism using AI rather than simplifying and based on intelligence. So what it should go is, again, as back and I said, how can I bring in the interconnected intelligence through an AI and simplifying the risk management, not complicating it further.
Simplify and amplify.
Yes.
Yeah. Great. A quick one from you, Shirin. Any interesting thoughts?
What I'd really like to see is probably it getting used on the public sector side, right? Because today, I mean, I think all the, let's call them registrant firms, banks, insurance, and all the, they're doing that. But we have to report to regulators and government sectors. And there's a long time for output and response and decision making. And I think if we really want to get compliance right, there's that like public sector side that really has to get solved for us to go anywhere. Because we're, like you said, garbage in, garbage out. And I'll use a basic example today. For a firm looking to get some sort of regulatory license, be it a bank, be it, right, you submit hundreds of documents to and there's a reason why a license takes months and months and months, because there's, they're taking a long time to go through all these documentation and make an assessment, and they're evaluating people. So my hope is that side of the coin adopts AI and takes a framework and gets into it, at the speed of which the private sector is doing it, so that we could truly innovate and move faster. Because that is also part of like you hear the tone that, Canada's behind the 8 ball and we're the only G7 country that don't have certain models. But that's also because the people that we're reliant on, the regulators, the Ministry of Finance and others to support and do what we need to do, we're waiting on them a lot of the time because we submit what we need to do. And so my hope is that side picks it up so that as firms, we get a license faster, we get a product to market faster, we're doing things, there's more jobs. Like it naturally will ripple and allow us to evolve. And I think oftentimes people don't see that that's the behind the scene pieces that registrants and firms are dealing with to even just do basic things, right? Even the idea of you want to launch a new product, it's not as simple as you think because there's pieces. So my hope is that that side picks up the adoption in the way that the private sector is doing it, so that both hands can clap and we can go on and do what we essentially need to do.
If you see traditionally the Canadian AI sector, I think the innovators in AI I have seen in Waterloo. You have a hotbed of innovators in AI space in Canada, and it is one of the best places where you can get some of the best talents in AI. Now the thing is how you can use it to fast track the financial services sector in the country, which is traditionally remained very risk averse, traditionally remained, technologically little backward, not because it's not, they are not able to, but it is probably a choice. A technology like open banking is taking years to come. A technology like payment trail is taking years to come. But I'm sure we are somewhere close, and things are really improving in the financial sector, at least in the. How about you, Manoj? What do you see in this area, especially in product development with AI? Any interesting insight you want to share?
Been in IT, what, 35 years now. I can tell you that whenever new technologies come in, problem with the IT industry has been that security and compliance and quality of data usually is then done at the end of the projects. Too little, too late on many occasions. And I don't think we can view today. We can view one of the mistakes industry has made is to view AI and ML as silos without having a proper data platform, which means data engineering, ML, AI are an integrated monolithic term. It's you cannot view each one of them as a silo. So I wish I'm sure I would like to see those 108 tools. Is any one of them, which I'm pretty sure is viewing this as a problem that goes across data engineering and ML and AI rather than just focusing on their own piece. So I wish we move towards that direction.
Generally, the police is known after the to come only after the crime is committed, right?
Exactly, and I'm kind of seeing the same mistake happen.
No, but the good part of it is slowly the industry is coming up.
Yeah.
People are trying to create these things grounds up,
Right,
rather than just creating things only after you notice. Of course, the holes have to be plugged in, but at least all the Gartners of the world and all the interesting reports are now coming up with suggestions that things have to be built grounds up, and AI integrally has to be a part of your overall product design itself now. It cannot be that after designing the product, AI can be put in or plugged in.
Incidentally, one of place currently consulting at, they got a whole $2 million funding, and they built an AI tool, and everything was fine until the first client they got had a HIPAA audit, and everything fell apart. So I think those are the mistakes. I think we have to make sure that people don't do this. They should not view AI as just a silo that there is one tool that will take
a solution searching for a problem.
They're expecting more of firms now, and I think there's a deeper understanding, because I remember you would get I'll use Manoj's previous example, right? Like I want my data deleted. From a technology perspective and from a books and records perspective, that's literally impossible, because I need provability of the time you onboarded, what we did, what we sold you, right? So and that could never truly, I think, be conceptualized by a consumer, because they're like, oh, I want you to delete everything and you have a compliance obligation. But now with the access to information, and that they could, like Shri says, they can go on GPT, even your leaders and that. So I think when your customers are showing up, naturally they're going to ask more of you. And so the evolution is, like, are we prepared? Are we ready? And how will products look and feel in the future? Because things that was acceptable traditionally are not. And now with digitalization, we also have global comparison, right? We could see what others are doing. And so we want to hear else we're going to another market, right? So.
And it's also positive side, if I may say that, I mean, the pandemic that has occurred, or the meltdowns that has occurred, has actually helped our regulators realize that they are behind a bit. Like I'm amazed with the number of changes. As a consultant, it's a good thing, but as a banker, as a risk management professional, there's a lot the banks and everybody, all FIs are doing, whether it's the E21, the B13, the B10s, E23, everything has shifted, and everything has now as a resilience and an enterprise-wide view. So going back, because of that pressure, because of that incidents, now I think it sets a good foundation for AI to bring in insights if we do it properly, right? Because it's all forcing to have that unified or a interconnected view of risk. So I think kudos to regulators, at least they're pushing us.
Interesting. It is a nightmare definitely for the banks, and I know some of the leading banks, they have the mandate, for example, that every department has to have an AI based linking solution to be done every month or every quarter or things like that. And they are also rewarding people for bringing out new IPs with AI in that respective department. So this is a very interesting and encouraging sign. The only thing is the scalability, the continuity of these things definitely make a lot of sense. I think we will end this conversation at this note. Thank you very much, all of you, for providing this insight.